man.
Get some jet fuel right now. I wonder where you can get jet fuel at. Airport.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are finally back on our Ferrari 458 Spider. And as you know, we have been waiting on parts. Our front bumper kind of got messed up in an order, but it is finally here today. And as you know, our Ferrari 458 GT3 build is put aside because the wrap guy is actually scheduled for another day. So you're probably gonna see it getting wrapped in the next video. But as of right now, we're gonna drop this thing down, bring in our new bumper, and we're gonna start getting to work on this thing and prepping it for paint.
Better than ever, man. Sounds so good. But let's go ahead and move her over to that bay, and then what are we gonna do? We're gonna put it on the quick jacks and start taking apart that front bumper, or should we go ahead and bring our front bumper in, the new one, and open it up? So we finally got our front bumper here. This box is actually really big, so I don't know what's all in here. Probably our front bumper, probably half of a car. So let's go ahead and crack this sucker open and see what we got inside.
Yes, sir, Thomas. We're gonna have to get you off of here, bud. I know you like sitting on the Vorsteiner stuff because there's some valuable stuff in there. But I'm excited to see what this thing is gonna look like, really, because I know the rear bumper is sick.
Solid carbon. Is the front bumper
solid carbon?
Solid carbon. Dude, that's gonna look crazy.
Go ahead and transfer this cat over there onto that other crate. That way we could open this sucker up, because, dude, I think we pretty much got everything that we need to start the painting process, really, right?
Yeah, we got everything. Front bumper, that's all we needed, basically. Now we can go ahead and actually slap the sucker on here and start sanding the entire car. But let's go ahead, see what we can get out of here.
Thomas, get him.
Good?
Get him out of there.
Don't even
hey, he's staying put.
Come on. It's nice and warm in here.
That's the softest cat in the world right there, by the way.
But
so,
anyways.
Crack this thing open, dude.
Oh, dang. Dude, this is crazy.
Dude.
It's gonna look so crazy.
Oh my goodness, man. This is what's gonna make this car unique. This Vorsteiner stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and have at it, carefully unpackage this thing, and we'll show you guys what it looks like.
Man, this is crazy looking.
Oh my goodness, dude. Got the Vorsteiner badge right there. Got a sweet looking kind of aggressive diffuser
slash lip, dude. We don't even need a lip for this thing. Dang, this thing looks freaking crazy, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. Pick that sucker up, get a better visual there.
Dang, that is freaking crazy looking.
Now this, I don't know how we're gonna paint. What do you think? Just like paint it all white? No, we gotta leave.
Probably just leave the bottom carbon. I don't know. There's still a bunch of things that we can do. Just like that rear bumper, there's a bunch of ways we can tape this sucker up. But dude, this thing is gonna look crazy. Now we need to go ahead and actually throw it on the car.
Yeah, throw it on the car. We also got some of those little vents slash mesh.
Yeah, the mesh for all the little vent areas. But we'll probably put that in after we paint the car. But dude, this is insane. Let's go ahead and throw this car on quick jacks, take that front bumper off, and then throw this one on there.
Good Lord, this sucker is heavy, man.
I don't know, what is that, about 100 pounds?
Dude, That is almost like 4 times heavier than that carbon fiber bumper.
This bumper right here is super light, dude.
That is what I'm talking about.
One finger right there, dude.
Performance plus appearance, you just can't beat it there.
And you're losing a ton of weight, man. That front and rear bumper probably lost almost around 200 pounds.
200, man. That's like
a lot, because that thing is heavy. Look at all that stuff that's on there. All the little the washers and stuff that's on there, and them fins. Them little fins that Ferrari made right here, these are like solid, like composite, so they're super heavy, dude.
Yeah, the washers alone probably added up to 100 pounds. There's so many washers on this Ferrari. That's how they do it at the factory.
But anyways, we got our super light bumper. Let's go ahead and see how well it fits to the car, you know? Throw it up there and see if it all lines up. Dang, this front bumper is sick, dude. That definitely changed the whole entire front end look of this thing. Way better than that original bumper, dude. I don't even know if there's any other aftermarket bumper out there that looks this good, dude.
We did have to cut something out right there for it to fit right with the Dremel.
I think they just had that on there because probably the way they mold these bumpers, they have to mold it all the way through. But anyway, dude, after that little cut, dude, this thing looks sick, dude. And it's gonna look super crazy. Painted, yes.
And explain how we're gonna paint it. What do you think?
Yeah, we are probably gonna just go ahead and paint it the way Borsteiner shows their pictures of how they paint it. They actually just go along this line right here. So everything from here down is all carbon, and just this piece right here is all white. And we were thinking about leaving this carbon too, taping it off, but that's probably way too much work, and it probably won't even look as good as we think it does right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's gonna look good all white, like Borsteiner.
There's gonna be plenty of carbon up front over here, dude. This thing just looks super aggressive when you look straight towards the front of it, dude. Just check that out.
Dang,
the way the vents are laid out and stuff like that, dude. This thing looks sick, dude. Way better. I think it's actually a little bit better than the Speciale front bumper. What do you think? The Speciale front bumper does look really good, which we're really thinking about getting, but then the Borsteiner, I think, caught our eye the most, and this thing looks sick. But now we basically got everything to start sanding this car and getting it prepped for paint, right?
Yes, sir. And probably we're gonna start with taking apart those doors, because the doors are getting sanded because they're getting blended onto. Yeah, there's a few little chips right here on the doors that we want to go ahead and paint. Might as well while we're painting the whole entire car. So we're gonna go ahead and take the mirrors off, because we won't be painting the mirrors because we're just not gonna be using that much paint on here, so they'll match perfectly. And we need to go ahead and remove the moldings and everything, the door handles. So let's go ahead, open these doors up, get our tools, and start taking these doors apart. Alright, so we got both doors taken apart, and before we start wet sanding, we actually want to go ahead and run to a local Home Depot and grab a heater, maybe a propane or a kerosene heater, because our wooden stove over there is actually burning more wood than it can handle, because it is super cold and it is dark outside. We probably have one of the coldest nights, and plus we actually need a heater for the wrapping process on the GT3 Ferrari and for the painting process on this Ferrari. So let's go ahead and actually run to a local store and see if we can pick up a heater. Alright, so we are here at our good old friends at Home Depot. Let's go see if they got a nice heater. I'm wearing shorts because it's not that hot outside. It's not that hot, it's cold. It's like 27 degrees. People are gonna look at us crazy.
My feet are getting a little ashy, man.
Dang, son, let's get in here and see what we got. We got Santa Claus up in here. This man's came out here for a heater and he's looking at toolboxes now. We really do need a toolbox.
What about one of these right here? We'll just throw everything in here.
No, dude, that's a nice one, dude. But you know what? I think we're just gonna wait till we get our new shop before we start buying a whole bunch of tools and
then
whatnot.
we'll probably get one of these right here. That's sick. Anyways, where are these heaters at, man? I don't see them anywhere. I see Christmas trees. Might have to grab one of those.
Bingo. Dang, $300.
Runs off of diesel, kerosene.
300 doll hairs.
300 dog hairs, man. That's crazy. We should have got Max over here.
Right. But we need it, so you want to go ahead and purchase this sucker? What does it run off of?
Kerosene, diesel, or fuel oil. Never heard of that.
Jet fuel, dude.
Yeah, jet fuel.
We can build a dang jet out of this thing,
Let's go
man.
get some jet fuel right now. I wonder where you can get jet fuel at. Airport? You go drive over there to fill up your heater? Well, let's go ahead and grab this sucker. All right, boys, we got everything we need. Now let's head back to the house. All right, so we got this sucker set up. Let's go ahead, fire it up, and get to sanding. All right, so we're moving right along. We finished wet sanding that door. We moved on to the fender and we found out there's a lot more damage on this fender than we thought, but we went ahead and repaired everything through some primer. We're just gonna let that dry nicely. And right now we're actually gonna move on to the hood over here, start wet sanding the entire thing. And we did notice this hood has a bunch of little rock chips everywhere. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. There's just rock chips there, 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 there. So once we sand it down with the 600, we're gonna go over it with red glazing putty, make sure we fix everything. And then after that, we're probably gonna go ahead and move on to that side, get that door, that fender, and then probably the carbon fiber today. What do you think? Can we get to that?
Dude, it'd be really nice. And we're trying as hard as we can because I believe we're gonna try to get into the paint booth tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is our goal to get into the paint booth, start prepping this car, and hopefully get it painted. But right now, the heaters are working great. It's nice and warm in here, so let's go ahead and just keep on moving.
All right, so the body is finally wet sanded except for the front and the rear bumpers because we kind of ran into a few issues that we'll talk about in the morning. And we also ran out of kerosene. It is super cold, as you know, and it is late in the night, so we'll have to catch you guys tomorrow in the morning. So it is the next day, and one of the major issues that we noticed last night was actually with our hood, since it does have an excessive amount of rock chips, and although we try to fix it with red glazing putty, from experience, if you were to just paint this thing, it'd probably still be visible. And we do not want that because this is a Ferrari after all, and we want it to look perfect. And the way to actually fix that would be to probably resand this whole entire hood and actually prime it completely in, kind of give it a thicker layer, that way we can sand it smooth and all those imperfections will be gone. So that's exactly what we're gonna do right now. So let's go ahead and pop this thing off and try to get it primed in. Alrighty guys, so our hood is finally primed in along with some guide coat, so it is ready to be wet sanded. And you might have noticed that we were using the 2-in-1 primer in a can, which we've never had any problems out of it. It's actually some high quality stuff. So we're actually ready to go inside, let it bake a little bit, and then we'll be ready to wet sand. Alright, so the hood is finally sanded and it turned out absolutely amazing. It is nice and smooth and it's pretty much ready for paint. So we're actually going to move on to the next thing, which is this front bumper. And what we're actually going to do is trim it out with some white paint. And what that means is we're actually going to sand all the edges of this bumper and we're going to paint them white, because we are going to be painting with this front bumper actually on the car just like it is, and it's just going to be hard to get those edges later. So that's the best, that's probably the best method to do, right?
Yeah, it's the best method to do because there's not much white going on this front bumper. It's just going to be basically the top. So I want to go ahead and leave the bumpers on the car, and trimming it out is basically just painting these edges white. So whenever I'm painting it all together, the inside's already white.
And we're gonna get a perfect blend with this and also the hood here. So
yeah, that's like one of the main reasons, is to get that perfect blend. So whenever I'm painting the hood, I can just go ahead and go onto the bumper, not walk away to a stand or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and actually pop it off and get to sanding. Alright, so the bumper is finally sanded and taped off. It did take a good bit of time because there was a bunch of little imperfections on these edges, but we managed to get rid of all of them. Right now, we're actually gonna go ahead, wax and grease, remove everything, seal it, and then we're gonna grab some paint and hopefully paint this sucker. Alrighty guys, so that front bumper is finally trimmed out. It was super cold outside, but we managed to get the job done and it looks absolutely amazing. Now we're pretty much able to paint with the front bumper on the car, and that's pretty much it for the paint prep process, other than the rear bumper, which we didn't get to it because this carbon fiber is a little bit different, a little bit harder to work with, but we're learning as we're going, and that's just all we got left. We don't have to trim it out, so it's gonna be a lot easier. But make sure you stay tuned for the next video where we actually get this thing in the paint booth, or maybe even paint in our makeshift paint booth here. But that's pretty much gonna be a wrap for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure your post notifications are on so you don't miss out on anything. Also guys, be sure to follow us on Instagram where you can get an inside scoop there before YouTube. And if you wanna help support your boys, be sure to visit goonzquad.com and copy some merch. With that being said, thank you guys for all the love and support. Be sure to drop your comments and thoughts down below, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.